I can't take it anymore, not anymore. No one said that this would get easy. No one said this wouldn't get hard. Brush it off and roll up your sleeves now. It's a shot in the dark till you get what you want.
Come on back to Spiked College Football Show, week 5 or 6 or 7, doesn't really matter. Last week doesn't count, guys. My picks last week have been redshirted. I already said it doesn't count, so I can just drop out. It is week 4, but technically for some people it's 5, and for other teams it doesn't matter. Who cares what's going on, guys? Spiked College Football Show, back better than ever. Your boy Johnny B is here. Tyler's here. JC's here. Petting his dog, and that's not a sex thing. And Rob's petting his cat. That's also not a sex thing.
Oh no. He's stealing the spotlight already. Guys, let's just be very clear. This past week definitely counted because I'm now officially in the lead. So,
well, we'll talk about picks in a minute here. All right, you guys went over the Sluka thing last night. Very fantastic. If you guys want to watch it on our YouTube channel. Make sure to check out the TikTok, Spiked College Football, Instagram, Spiked_college_football. Check out the YouTube that you're on right now. Check out the Twitch. The boys talked about it. But yeah, Rob, no one cares that you did pretty good last week in picks. No one cares.
How about this? 6 games went to overtime last week. 6. And we picked most of them. That's insane.
Well, you know what? Since we're not going to really talk about, because you guys already discussed it, let's talk real quick. Anything you guys want to talk about that happened last week? We already went over the UNLV thing that happened. Anything you guys want to talk about? There wasn't really too many big upsets. Illinois with a hell of a game against Nebraska on the Friday night. There wasn't really too many upsets, I don't think.
I mean, we could go into Baylor, Colorado, how Baylor really just lost the game in the end.
That's just coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you not have your one safety that's on that side of the field right by the only receiver that's in the end zone? There was no other receiver in the end zone. There was one.
Yep.
That's coaching.
Well, so there weren't any major upsets, but there are a lot of really close, almost upsets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Stanford over Syracuse is technically an upset, right? All of the Friday night games were insane.
Friday night was the best night of football last week.
By far. And I really hope that's not the case this week because my team plays on Friday and is a 17-point favorite. But we'll talk about that later.
I guess we could talk a little bit about how USC does. USC went. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'll just phrase it like Tony White said.
Oh, TA.
Are we having technical difficulties?
We have a dog in the camera.
Oh no, I'm okay.
Okay. Well, you started talking and then you
No, sorry.
Talking and then you stop.
We got a freshman QB balling his ass off over here. You score 24 points, you have to help his ass. That's on the defense.
That's true.
And Michigan, they won because the ineptitude of USC and not because of how good they won a football game throwing for 32 yards in the year 2024.
Yep.
Just saying.
And Rush
I would say, guys,
before that last drive in the second half.
I guess we can do real quick. If you want to do something real quick, we'll talk about last week. Who was your most impressive team last week?
What do you want to start with?
Rob, you go first.
Miami.
Rob, you go first.
Actually, technically, the most impressive team? James Madison. By a mile. 70 points in Chapel Hill, and they made it look easy. They were doing all 3 phases of the game. They just worked a Power 4 team like they do it every fucking week. We already knew they were a tough school, like a tough out, but dear Lord, they are this year's Appalachian State. You don't want to play them.
They made Mac Brown quit, and then all of a sudden he's not quitting anymore.
Yeah, they literally made him give up on the game of football for like 10 minutes, which is crazy.
I would
So
like to say my most impressive team was, sorry to do this, Tyler, but Illinois. Illinois has a quarterback. And to go with that defense, Illinois might we'll see later on in our picks. They might beat some teams that they shouldn't beat this year because they have a quarterback for the first time since Red Grange. So, Illinois.
Red Grange was a running back.
He was.
And he played in the 20s. So that's what I'm saying. That's the last time they had a quarterback.
Juice Williams.
I'll give you that. Tyler, who was your most impressive team, Tyler?
That last drive with Michigan blew me away. I didn't think they had it in them. USC couldn't stop them. You have to think of Michigan now slightly as a slightly better team now.
Is it Michigan or was it the USC going back to last year where they forgot how to tackle in the last possession of the game?
That is fair. But at least Michigan welcomed the USC to Big Ten football. Probably.
Jay, who was your most impressive team last week? Did you get to watch any football last week?
I didn't get to watch a lot. I got to see mostly just highlights, and that James Madison thing was unreal. Just like I turned on highlights and they started talking about JMU, and then I saw what that score ended up being. That's just wild. It's one thing to beat a team, but to put up 70 is crazy.
And I will say this, guys. Not only were my picks bad last week, but we were live betting. I did win a little bit of money. So if you want to join us for the live betting streams, which we will be doing again, as I'll be doing every week now. Now that I have control of this, and I don't have a life, and I have to be home because my son's home, and I have one car, and I'm a single. I'm not a single dad. Sorry, babe. Love you. I'm a dad. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I'll be streaming every game live, so come and join us. We're almost on TikTok, guys. We have just under 600 followers, I think. We're almost there. We're getting there. Once we get to TikTok, we're going to be good and we can go live because I see these morons on there saying they don't know what I'm talking about. We are the best live bettors on the internet. If you actually join us, we are the best. There's nobody better than me. And then I get these two idiots that come on and give me shit, and they bet with me and they ride with me, and it's a lot of fun. So join us for that. But let's move on. Kind of a boring week. Nothing really great happened. Let's talk about the games this week. Tyler, would you like to take it away this week again?
Yeah. Give me a minute to pull up the sheet. That's the only thing I don't have up.
Rob, are you surviving the hurricane?
Yes. It is going to be a bad one. It's going to hit Cat 4 by the time it hits Tallahassee, but we are blessed in Sarasota.
I mean, can you say this might sound fucked up, but they kind of deserve a hurricane. Maybe the hurricane will wash away Florida State's bad juju and bring them something good.
I mean, they could use it. Well, they did manage to win last week, even though they gave up 300 yards passing to a guy who looks like he has a pocket protector when he takes his pads off. Like, I don't know where that came from, but they almost won it at the end. Cal almost won it at the end, even though Florida State's an infinitely more talented team. So,
and let's be honest. The natives always say, once a storm goes by, it's good. It's like a new beginning. So maybe Florida State will go undefeated the rest of the year after this hurricane destroys everything. Maybe that'll happen for them. It didn't happen the last time they played a hurricane. Last time there was a hurricane in FSU, that didn't happen. But, all right, let's digress. Go ahead, Tyler.
All right. Any specific game you want to start with, or just go down the list?
I think you should start with the Friday night game and then go wherever you want after that.
Figured as much. Friday night, we got Virginia Tech plus 18.5 at number 7 Miami.
I hate this.
Rob,
so
you're going to go last here. We'll go JC, Tyler, me, Rob.
Miami looks good. I'll roll with them.
Remember, guys, this is not picks against the spread if you're joining us. This is just picks to win the game. Yep. And, before we go into that, last week Rob went 16-7. Tyler went 15-8. Me and JC went 11-12. For the year so far, Rob's at 64%, JC's at 63%, TA's at 62%, and I'm at 58%. But guess what? This is just for you guys to know who's going to win. If you want the real money, come and join us on the live streams and I give you guys the money. So whatever they do here with their bullshit, they want to win, doesn't matter. Join us on the live streams where you win the chingle. But go ahead, Tyler.
No, it's Miami. I love Virginia Tech. Don't get me wrong. Take the points if you want to, but Miami's winning this game.
Rob, who does Miami have next week?
No one of particular import. Let's see. We play Cal.
Rob, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter who Miami has next week. It's the Rock's team. I'm going to be the Rock this week. They're going to fucking win by 30 fucking points. Virginia Tech is terrible. Miami big. Miami huge. Miami, I'll outline this. Miami minus 27.5. They're going to win by fucking 4 touchdowns.
This has trap game written all over it.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Last week did. This doesn't have
Last
trap game
week
written on it.
did, but here's the fucked up part. Okay, coming from the Miami, we'll say scrutinizer. We don't typically play well at home because nobody's coming out to the game. Tickets are as low as $28 at Hard Rock. Even the front row seats that I have are going for $50. That's it.
Rob. You're playing Cal. You're playing Cal. This is a blowout. This is not a spot. Trust me, this is not a spot game.
I agree that it's not a spot. I'm saying that at this point, the rest of the team is going to start relaxing because they think they have it in the bag. And we don't play Louisville for like a fucking month. And that's the only tough game left on our schedule. The problem is that Virginia Tech has a lot of talent. They are not a good team, but it's not like they're not capable of playing well when this is basically the rest of their season on the line. They do play Clemson at home, but otherwise they don't have anything else to play for. They got absolutely just ground down by Rutgers last week at home. They're going to do whatever they also for the record, Mr. Drones there is Cam Ward's cousin. They train with the same quarterback coach. Like, there is more on the line for this game than just the game. So,
Rob, I love the analysis. I love the analysis.
Miami.
I love it. Just pick Miami. That's fine.
I'm going to pick Miami, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be way fucking closer than it has any right to be.
Guys, what Rob is doing now, if you're joining us, this is emotional hedging. Rob is doing all this to prepare himself. He's working himself up because if they do happen to lose, he's going to say, "I told you." Yeah.
Well, it's because this is the game we're going to lose. None of the other games on our schedule are concerning.
You said that last week. You said it last week.
I'm just saying this is the game. Well, here's the thing: South Florida, that first quarter was fucking rough, right? And then our defense started.
It's not the same old Miami. It's not the same old Miami, though.
I know it's not the same old Miami. I'm saying that Kyron Drones is way more talented than that South Florida quarterback, and he still gave us fits. So we should be fine. But like I said, I'm not even worried about Louisville. I think we have plenty of opportunity to destroy Louisville. This is the game that I'm worried about because of that personal connection. So.
All right, next game, Tyler. We've spent way too much time on a game. Miami's going to win by 4 touchdowns.
We talked about this loser team earlier. We're going to UNC Chapel Hill plus 2.5 at Duke.
Do you guys realize that Duke is undefeated?
Quietly, but yeah.
And I had them. I'm pretty sure they already hit their over win total. I'm pretty sure their over win total for the year was 3.5, and they already hit it. Give me Duke. After what happened last week to UNC, give me Duke. Duke at home. Duke's going to get bowl eligible almost before October.
JC?
I don't know about the wins that Duke's had so far. I'll run UNC this week.
I'm going to be in that camp as well.
Good. Get in that camp. I need to get back on the W board.
Go ahead, Rob.
Manny Diaz can't beat Mac Brown. Couldn't do it with Miami. I don't think he's going to do it with Duke. Sorry. I think that if it was literally any other coach, yes, Duke would roll. They're already starting off well. This is what Manny Diaz does. Looks fine, looks great. He got dog walked by UNC before, and he's never recovered. He still hasn't beaten Mac Brown. I don't think once as a head coach. So
That means he's due. Just like Iowa State, he's due. And I'm going to remind you this next week.
Well, just so, again, personal connection, he was Mac Brown's defensive coordinator when BYU and fucking Taysom Hill ran for like 500 yards on them. Mac Brown has his number. You think this is the game where the student becomes the master? I'm not seeing it. UNC is still a very good team. Chris Well, as shitty as he is, he threw for 400 yards last week. Just saying.
Whatever.
So
Bro.
I'm going to go with Duke. I'm not going to go with Duke. I'm going to go with UNC. I think that Manny's going to fuck this up.
All right, we're gonna go Big Ten player. We're gonna go freaking Maryland +6.5 at Indiana.
Anybody want to go? I'll go first on this. Indiana big. Indiana by. I'm gonna say Indiana by 10. I love the quarterback. I love what they're building here. They have a lot of depth on offense right now. What's his name? I forgot the quarterback's name because I'm not very good right now. But Indiana big here. Maryland. They're a bottom feeding Big Ten team. Give me Indiana big.
Curtis Rourke.
Yep.
That's right, Rourke. He came from, I believe, Ohio. Give me Indiana.
JC?
They haven't really played anybody either. 4-0.
They went all the way across the country and just threw their load all over a UCLA team.
And I did say I went against Indiana that week. What do I want to do here? Do I go against Indiana twice? I don't know if I like that juju. All right, I'll ride Indiana.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want to go twice and then have them.
I'm going Indiana as well. Rob?
I think Indiana will be okay. Their tickets are going for like $16. What the fuck? Does nobody in Indiana care about football? I'm asking that as for the whole state.
Not really. Yeah, they do in the north and the north central and northwestern corridor. They do.
I don't believe that either because the Notre Dame game is also going for like $40. But fine,
we're not talking about that fucking team.
We'll go with Indiana, but I don't think anybody's even going to be there. 12 o'clock kickoff. There's going to be no home field advantage. It's just Indiana's a better team. So hopefully.
Speaking of schools where nobody's probably going to be there, Liberty -3.5 at State.
Liberty pulled off the game last week against ECU, which we all had ECU winning because I'm going to stop betting against them, and I think App State they're not the usual App State that they usually are. I'm riding Jamie Chadwell's boys and Liberty to get a win down the road in Boone, which is they're a tricky place to play, not a tough. Very tricky. Going into Boone is very tricky. Give me Liberty.
JC?
This is a very good group of 5 matchup.
Yeah, so both teams have beat East Carolina this year.
ECU is the best 0-4 team in football.
Yes, by far.
I'm gonna go it's at App State, right? It's at App State. So I'll take the home team.
Home team dog, I like it. I don't hate that pick.
I'm going Liberty. I like them, especially after last week. Rob?
I cannot believe how much App State lost by last week at home.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
They gave up 48 points at home last week. That's
to South Alabama, who low key might be a really good team.
But they're also South Alabama was also 2-2. Like I don't know. Stats say this is actually one of the higher price games of the week. $62 for a ticket, and Boone. I don't know if it'll make a difference. Yeah, it's gonna be. It should be close. It should be a real tight game. Here's the thing. I think Liberty wins a tight game because App State narrowly pulled it off against ECU because ECU can't win a tight game. I think Liberty's going to win by one or two.
I like it.
All right. We go not too far south of there. We go to Georgia Southern, who hosts Georgia State at plus 3.5.
Georgia State is the home team, I believe. This is also in Atlanta.
Yep.
Also, just so you guys know, I already picked this game, and I picked Georgia. Oh, sorry. I pick. Give me Georgia State.
Yeah, same.
He adds State to it. Oh my God. I'm gonna go Southern. What about you, Rob?
Great question. Jesus. I honestly couldn't tell you. This is gonna be brutal for both of them. They're both in the Sun Belt, trying to fucking beat up on each other to catch. Well,
You want to
James
know
Madison.
why I'm picking Georgia State? You want to know why I'm picking Georgia State?
Why?
Julia Roberts and Ludacris were both alumni, and I love Ludacris. And get back, motherfuckers! You don't know me like that. And Pretty Woman's a fantastic film. Give me Georgia State.
All you have to say about that.
Yep.
Wait. Yeah, I mean, not that I'm buying that logic. Yeah, here, Cat. Not that I'm buying that logic, but Georgia State's losses have been less embarrassing than Georgia Southern's. So, not that Ole Miss counts, but like Georgia State beat Vanderbilt. So I'll go with Georgia State. They can play a tough game. If it's close, I think they'll win.
All right.
Boom. Just so everybody knows, Army is winning 28. Army's winning 28-0 third quarter.
We go to converted Sun Belt teams to one that'll probably be arriving there shortly. Florida State plus 5.5 at SMU.
Like I said in the pregame, boys, this hurricane's going to wash all the bad juju out of Tallahassee. Give me Florida State. Give me Florida State big. I don't trust Jennings at quarterback. They got rid of Stone. Fuck Lashley. I'm so done riding SMU. I was going to ride them all. No, fuck them. Florida State. Oh.
I'm gonna literally throw up in my mouth.
On track. Knowles get back on track.
JC?
I don't know. I kind of like still keeping Florida State down.
Be a goddamn rebel, JC.
I'm gonna roll with SMU.
Fuck yeah, because I'm going SMU as well. They're just kicking Florida State while they're down at this point. I'm here for it.
So,
go ahead, Rob. Get SMU because I'm the only one that wins this game. Let's go.
I know. I'm going to pick SMU, not because of the quarterback, but because the leading rusher and leading receiver for SMU, the two guys are transfers from Miami. They despise Florida State. They show up against Florida State. They hate this team that they're playing. So I think that's going to give them more juice than like SMU won their big rivalry game last week. So this is a spot where they're going to get caught off guard because they're coming down from that high of beating TCU when Sonny Dykes gets kicked out and all that shit. 100%. But the actual star players, the role players that need to step up, they have plenty of hate in their heart for FSU coming to town. So I'm going to pick SMU.
I like it. I'm the only one on Duke. I'm the only one on FSU. I'm the only one that believes in the ACC. I'm the ACC guy. I'm just the ACC
Duke
guy.
and UNC are ACC schools, as is SMU and Florida State. These are all ACC matchups.
I'm the real ACC guy.
Well, tell me.
Okay.
I need to inject some Big Ten blood into my veins. So we're going Minnesota plus 6.5 at number 13, Michigan. In the Big House.
Johnny, if you're right on the two ACC games, I will give you my ACC crown, just for the record.
I'm going to tell you guys, right, if this was Illinois, in this spot playing Michigan, I would pick Illinois, and I would outline it to Illinois minus 20 or Penn State minus 20 here if they played Michigan. Just Minnesota doesn't have the offense. They're like worse Michigan. That's what they're like. They're like a little worse Michigan is their offense. So give me Michigan big.
JC?
JC's muted.
I am not muted anymore. Iowa put up 31 points against Minnesota, so that's probably not a good outlook. I'm taking Michigan.
Yeah, when the kid that couldn't play quarterback at Michigan puts up 31, or on Minnesota that couldn't play the quarterback at Michigan, yeah, that's a great pick.
I'm going Michigan as well. Rob?
Caleb Johnson rushed for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns last week against Minnesota. They're not even going to throw the ball this week. You thought 32 yards was bad for Michigan last week? They might. Cade McNamara only threw for 62 last week, and they won easily against Minnesota. They're going to steam.
I wish I knew the over-under on yards for Orgy's passes because I'd take the under. It's probably at like 55.
They're going to steamroll these guys because they can't stop the run.
The line has also bloated to 10.
We got an 8.5. I'll still take him at 10. But I like Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, McNamara threw for 62 yards. It's just Iowa's just Michigan Junior, and they won by 17. Michigan's going to win by 30.
Tyler, did you pick?
Yeah, I went Michigan.
Okay. Next game.
Michigan all day.
We'll go to this second team in the Big Ten that wants to be Michigan, Wisconsin at 14.5 at number 13 USC.
I want to pick Wisconsin here because I picked them in my preview. They just don't have a quarterback, and they don't really have a great offensive line. They don't have any weapons. I heard today on Pick'em, on Barstool's Pick'em podcast, Big Cat's going to probably buy a quarterback for him every couple of years. You know, he's literally said he's going to put like $1 million because Dave said he's going to buy a quarterback for Michigan. So he's like, I'm going to buy one for Wisconsin too. And they might have to do that because Wisconsin's bad at quarterback. And USC, I think they woke up because they actually have to play 4 quarters now. And I think USC probably wins this game by 12 points.
JC?
So I really am not happy about this game because I never picked USC, right? And I picked USC last week. They failed me. But Wisconsin has not shown up this season. I don't see any reason that they would be able to roll out there and win this football game. So back-to-back weeks, I'm going to pick USC.
I hate doing it too, trust me. But
Welcome to 2024.
I begrudgingly do the same thing. What about you, Rob?
I'm going to pick USC, and I'm going to hope that Tyler Van Dyke screws all of us over because it would be great to see USC go down.
He's out for the year.
He's out for the season.
Out for the season.
That's why I said they don't have a quarterback. He's out for the year.
Oh, I just didn't think he was playing very well. Why did I see that? There he is.
No, actually, against Alabama, he's actually moving the ball pretty well, and then he got hurt.
Yeah. Why is that the 5th thing on here for Wisconsin? Everything else is talking about bullshit. And then Wisconsin, oh, by the way, he has a torn ACL from 10 days ago.
That was 2 games ago, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Speaking of bullshit, we'll go to the SEC and their last day's 8 conference games. One of the non-cons is South Alabama, plus 20.5 at a number 14 LSU.
Tyler, change my pick. I'm on the Jaguars.
He's going
to win?
Wow.
I'm on the Jaguars to win. Guys, tell me one thing right now. South Alabama comes off a huge win in Boone, conference win. They score points. LSU can't stop a nosebleed. Harold Perkins is out for the year with a torn ACL, as you can tell by his mom bitching on Twitter that there's no HIPAA. Give me South Alabama. Give me him to win this game. And this is like the SEC version of App State beating Michigan. I like Southern Alabama to beat LSU.
Jason?
They don't. Nothing. There's nothing good about LSU. LSU's defense is horrendous. Their offense can score when they want to, and they can run the ball when they want to. Give me South Alabama.
I mean, that's bold. I don't think I feel that bold. I mean, they scored 87 points against whoever the fuck. I'm not falling for it. No, I'm not falling for it. LSU.
Too many.
Would you take the 20? Would you take the 20 and a half?
That's enticing.
Okay.
That's too many points. It's LSU. Rob?
I'm not sold
LSU's
on
next
LSU.
game. LSU's next game is at home against Ole Miss.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they get a bye week before playing Ole Miss. If there was no bye week, I would ride with you, Johnny, because that's a perfect spot for them to not even think about South Alabama. If they manage to overlook South Alabama with a bye week, and then you know what I mean, like if they are so far over that, the hubris is huge in Baton Rouge, but I don't know. They lost USC, and USC fucking couldn't pull it off against Michigan. So I feel like they're not going to fall for South Alabama like UNC fell for James Madison.
This is just my indictment. I just don't think LSU is that good. I think I'm picking this to like get up on some standings, get a little attention. I think South Alabama keeps this game unbelievably tight, guys. I really, really do.
But I think it would have to be another 70-50 game for them to pull it off. Like
no, I'm
James
saying this game is 66-60. There's like
what I mean. But that's what I mean. For South Alabama to pull this off, they have to do what James Madison did to UNC last week, and I just do not see that happening to LSU this week. So I'm going to pick LSU. But it's close. God, when I saw Ole Miss was their next game, I was like, oh, they're definitely not paying attention. But that's 2 weeks from now.
We're going to the SEC for pure SEC rivalry for Arkansas, 3.5 at number 24, A&M.
Anybody want to go first or no?
You've been going first.
All right, I'll take this. Listen, I have A&M written down. I don't really like this game. These teams are very much the same. Green turned the ball over 2 times in the win against Auburn. I don't really trust Texas A&M because Reed had he came back to earth after that big game against Florida because again it's Florida. But I'm gonna say A&M here just because the 12th man. That's the only reason. I think this is a very close game. I wouldn't be surprised if Arkansas won. But give me A&M. If Arkansas wins, Sam Pittman is safe for this year.
Yep.
Arkansas is playing frustrating football.
Yes.
Like
they should have beaten Oklahoma State. Yep.
Yeah. I'll go A&M. Yep.
If this game was at Arkansas, I would pick Arkansas.
Yep. That's exactly my logic. This is A&M. The line's increased, and yeah, this just wouldn't be surprised if Arkansas pulls it out. But
what's the line at? 5.5? Is it line at 5.5?
Yeah.
So this game for ticket prices is top 5 this week. They are going to pack the 12th man. $81 for a ticket to watch 2 of the most boring teams in the SEC play each other. So
this is the mid. This is the battle of the mid, not midway, which was a fantastic battle. This is the battle of the mid.
No, of the mid. Yes, this is a battle of the mid, and people are still paying $80 to go to this shit. So I think A&M will pull it off. I like Reed. Yes, he came down to earth, but he still hasn't thrown an interception yet. So he's hanging in there. Maybe he just gets up for bigger games, you know. So Bowling Green's not really the one you get up for. This one, and then next week when they play Missouri, that's where he might shine more.
Low key, Bowling Green,
Good
Connor
school.
Bazelak. Good fucking. They might win the MAC.
Yeah, good school. They've played 2 really tough games against Power 4 conference opponents.
All right, next game.
We'll go to the Battle of the Mids in the Big 12. Number 22 BYU plus 2.5 at Baylor.
Listen, I took right here. I'll just keep going first. Fuck it. I'm taking Baylor. I'm taking Baylor here because everybody's and their mother's going to hop on this BYU wagon, and BYU is not playing at home. They're going to a very pissed off Waco, Texas team that they usually play really well at home. I think Baylor should have won that game. They know should have won the game. Their coaches are going to have them locked, cocked, and ready to go. Listen, if I'm the coach of Baylor, focus. It's the only thing I say to my team. Focus. They would have just focused. The game was over. Baylor might win this big. I'm not sold on BYU. I'm not sold on the quarterback. Their defense is great. They're not at home, Baylor.
JC?
They're not going to lose to 2 Utah teams this year, right? At least that's what I'm going to tell myself.
Ooh, that's a good point. That is a good point.
All right, I'll roll Baylor.
I told you last week K-State would get exposed. BYU did it. If anybody created the train, it's right here. I'm going BYU. Rob?
It is wild to me that a top 25 team is not favored at a team that just lost to a circus last week. Like, I get what
because
you're
BYU
saying.
had a fluke win last week. They turned the ball over. The game was very close. No.
But
BYU
has played several tough games and crushed the top 25 opponent they played last week by 30, and now they're a 3-point underdog at an unranked school. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not a betting man, right? So I don't know what the fuck this line's supposed to mean. Because again, you have a top 25 team.
It means Baylor.
It means Baylor. It's just crazy to me that BYU is not the favorite when they're ranked, and Baylor's not even. They might be top 50 at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it's just bizarre to me. But I will go with Baylor. I will go with Baylor. But if BYU wins, I'll be like, well, of course they did. They're a top 25 team. Like, what were we expecting?
Before we go on to the next game, I didn't realize that the Friday night slate again might be better than the rest of the week, except for the big game on Saturday. The Friday night games are unbelievable again this week.
Well, there's only 2.
We didn't pick yeah, unbelievable. Virginia Tech, Miami, Washington, Rutgers. I'm just saying, very good games again on Friday. Army's winning 28-14 fourth quarter.
Wow, Temple came back fast.
We'll go to that second Friday night game then. Washington plus 2.5 at Rutgers.
You guys already know where I'm rolling. I'm rolling with the Tri-State, the Northeast, Mongai. Give me not Schiano. Yeah, Schiano.
Yep, that's
good.
good.
Little Italian boy who he loves his sauce on Sundays. You know he grew up with sauce on Sundays, just like I'm doing now on the island, baby. Give me sauce. Give me Mongai, Schiano, Northeast, Red, Scarlet Knights. Let's go. Rutgers undefeated 4-0.
JC?
Washington let me down the last time I picked them, and I'm not going to forgive them for it. So I'm going to roll with the close-to-home team at Rutgers.
I am going Washington because holy fuck, if this was actually a decent game, it would be a lot. I think the line should be not at 3.5. It should be more 7, 8.5.
It's at 2 now.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rob.
So, just wanted to check the box score from last week. So, last week, yes, Monongai scored, but it was actually Sammy Brown the fifth who scored. He had another 14 carries. He ran the ball 50 times last week as a team. Rutgers did.
That's real football. That's man football.
It's 4 yards in a cloud of dust. 4 yards in a cloud of dust. And Kelly Ekmanis is their quarterback. He looks like he's a fucking plumber out there. Like, he looks like he's showing up to work with a lunch pail, and he's getting his ass handed to him, and he's getting back up and going, let's do it again, motherfuckers. Like,
that's that Northeast grit, baby. The Northeast grit. Rutgers are going to the playoff. Let's go. Northeast grit.
Yeah, I don't think Will Rogers is going to get the ball enough to make a difference. I think that Rutgers is going to pummel, like body shot, Washington into the dust. God, I hope so. So I'm picking Rutgers.
Speaking of teams that are shot literally to dust, number 21, Oklahoma, minus 2.5 at Auburn.
This is like the hardest game of the week, guys.
God.
Who do I have picked on this? I already picked this game.
You went underdog.
I'm going Auburn. Oklahoma's starting a new quarterback. He did show a little bit, but didn't show a lot. It wasn't really all on the quarterback. Their offensive line couldn't block us if we were rushing. They couldn't. We had no pads on. They couldn't block us. Give me Auburn at home. War Eagle. I think Peyton Thorne has a bounce back game because I think he's going to be the starter this week. And that's what I'm going to go with. I'm rolling with War Eagle, baby.
JC?
Even
I think the mood is down in Auburn. I think Oklahoma is going to take advantage of it.
I'll tell you what, if he doesn't win this game, he's getting fired after what he said. I think you're 100% right. After that video clip that we have on the Spike TikTok, you might be right. Or was it a great motivation tool?
I'm saying not. I'm going Oklahoma.
Wait, which coach are we talking about?
You didn't hear what Freeze had said, did you?
Oh no, I did.
Threw his quarterbacks pretty much threw his quarterbacks under the bus.
Yeah, no. Okay, I saw that. I also saw Venables threw some shit out this week too. So they're trying to play some chess here. $20 tickets to go to Jordan Hare. Not as bad as last week. They still got pummeled into dust.
Yeah.
They're not showing up. I mean, yes, I'm sure when we get to game day, they're going to be like, whoever in town wants to go to the fucking game, just show up and yell your face off. Fine. But $20 tickets to go to this game. Most of the empty seats are on the Auburn side. It's bad news, guys. I think that Oklahoma's defense played Tennessee extremely tough.
Give me Oklahoma.
They are going to get their vengeance for having to look at their fucking offense doing nothing all last game.
Oklahoma might win this game. 6-0, and it might be 2-3 safeties. You're right. Give me Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm guessing that Oklahoma's defense scores more than their offense in this game, but I think that Oklahoma wins.
I think it's a 6-0 game. You're right. It's 6-0, 3 safeties. You're 100% right. You sold me. Good job, boys.
Crazy to me.
It's funny shit.
And I'm not even kidding. That's not even me doing a bit. I think that actually might happen.
We go from the bottom of the SEC to nearly the top. Does a Kentucky team who gave Georgia grief at plus 17.5 at Ole Miss?
Kentucky is deader than dead. Their coach has no spine. Jackson Dart goes off. Parrish runs the ball down their throat, which I think he was a former Miami player. Give me Ole Miss. And what's the spread now? 16. Give me Ole Miss by 3 touchdowns.
JC?
Yeah, I don't think it's close. Ole Miss.
I'm going Ole Miss as well. Rob?
What time is this game?
So Henry Parrish Jr.
12 o'clock.
Yes, Henry Parrish Jr. did play with Miami, but that was after he transferred from Ole Miss. This is truly his
Yeah,
home. We were
he went
kind of
back
his
and forth, right?
vacation spot. Yeah, we were just his vacation spot until he could come back and take over the reins. Yeah, I think he's going to outscore Kentucky by himself. Ole Miss.
Cool. We go to the Big 12 kind of, but Colorado plus 13.5 at a UCF. JC, Johnny?
Johnny's first.
I gotta look at the line. Would the line move? Fuck, it did, but it moved the wrong way because I was gonna pick the upset here. Give me Colorado.
Not so fast, my friend.
Give me Colorado.
JC?
You want to know why? Do you want to know why? Give me Colorado.
No.
They're in the Fox second window, which has been the bigger games this year. Deion shows up. He's in his home state because Deion might be coaching in his home state very, very soon. Give me Deion pulling something out of his ass. Listen, he has the better quarterback. He has the best receivers. I think this game is 85-60. 85-60 is probably the final of this game. Give me Shedeur Sanders to cement his first round top 5 pick status in this game right here in front of God and everybody.
At the bounce house. Let's go UCF.
Okay. That's like say at a bounce house. Come on. Come on.
Let's go. UCF, speed you, taking it to them.
I would want UCF to
these are the games that Malzahn loses. This is what he does. This is the games he loses.
That's why if Gus Malzahn wasn't UCF's coach, I would be all over this. But no, I'm going Colorado.
There we go.
Not so fast, my friend.
Rob?
This week, most of the ticket prices are shit, except for, one very notable exception. This game, the tickets are as low as $97 in the bounce house. $97 for a 3:30 kickoff in Orlando.
We're all Colorado fans, and guess what? You can't tell the difference because they're the same colors, so it's not going to matter.
I mean, fair, reasonable.
This is the same color. This is the same color. This is the same color game. This is the same colors game.
This is the same color game for sure. I don't think it's going to be a 14-point game, but I also don't think that UCF is going to let Colorado do to them what they did to TCU. I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay. I think
so UCF in a close one.
Guys, can we say something right now? Is this the game of the week?
Low key, yes.
This is a very sleepy one, but yeah.
It's going to be hot, humid, and rainy on Saturday.
Yes, it is. And I think that favors UCF. They're used to it. Unless Deion throws on some pads and shows Shedeur how to play in the fucking humidity.
Yeah, I mean, Shedeur is in Texas. Shedeur is not from Florida. He's in Texas.
Right, he's not a Florida boy.
You're right.
This is the third highest ticket price of the week. $97 in the bounce house.
These teams are so similar. Nationally, they wouldn't let you believe it because Colorado has this notoriety at the moment. But these teams are so similar in how they bring in, like the players that they bring in. UCF is going to have the.
Oh, he's got a baby. UCF's the favorite. 14 points at home. I mean, somebody knows something.
Yep. We'll go to our boy of note who's no longer at UNLV, who's hosting 3.5 point the underdog Fresno State.
Everybody and their mother is going to be on Fresno State because they lost their quarterback. They lost their running back. Blah blah. I don't care what I didn't really hear the whole thing you guys had to say about Puka. Their backup quarterback was the starter at Campbell for 4 years. They're playing in a go. It's called the go. It's called the go-go offense, and they're going to go all over Fresno. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. It's UNLV. It's UNLV big. This is the easiest spot in the world. If you're a gambler, UNLV big. Easy win. This is an easy game.
JC?
UNLV.
Babies making it hard for him.
UNLV for me. Rob's probably going to explain the reasoning why. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah. So since Johnny didn't bother actually watching our show, the young man from Campbell.
I did.
The young man from Campbell who transferred in has the very similar skill set to Sluka there, but seems to be an actual decent human being. He actually was nominated last year for the Good Hands team, like the all-state, giving back to the community sort of thing. Plus, the starting middle linebacker for UNLV was like about time when he got picked as QB1 and was posted on Twitter. The guy from Campbell,
and the UNLV middle linebacker, I forgot his name, and he's the leader. He's going to be an NFL draft pick. I love that kid. He's a fantastic linebacker.
And so if he's saying about time, I think that UNLV is going to be closer as a team because of this, not farther apart. So I think Fresno, they know that they're not going to beat UNLV. They asked for like reactions from them, and they're like, no reaction. We still got to beat these guys, and it's still going to be difficult. So it is what it is. UNLV, easy money, because apparently everybody else wants to hate on UNLV because Sluka's an idiot. I don't make the rules.
We go to another Group 5 school, number 25, Boise State, hosting Wazoo at -7.5.
I bet last week on Washington State with the San Jose game back and forth, blah, blah, blah. I don't like Washington State. I don't like Washington State. I love Washington State. Give me Mateer.
Knew that was coming.
Give me Mateer. All they have to do is stop the run. Change my pick. I had Boise. Change my pick. All they have to do is stop Genty from running the ball. Give me Washington State. Give me Mateer. All they do is win no matter what. They shouldn't have beaten San Jose State last week. And I made a lot of money because it kept going back and forth. Give me Washington State. They're the cardiac kids.
They are.
JC?
Yeah, I don't like Boise State. So like they had the close game against Oregon, but their other ones are not I'm not impressed. Washington State.
Boom. Go Cougs. Go Cougs. Go Cougs.
I'm going to take the Broncos. I believe in Ashton Finchie. Rob?
It's a reasonable bet. This is the second highest ticket price of the week. Care to guess how much tickets are going for at the Blue Field?
Well, you said 90 was, so I'll say 115.
Any others?
No, wait, the Georgia Bama game is probably $300, so like 150.
I'll go 125.
146. $146. I mean, I would give it to Johnny. We're not doing Prices Right rules here.
Right.
$146 for a ticket to this game. Boise State knows this is a big game. I don't know why Wazoo is not ranked in the top 25, but clearly Boise State is, and they want to keep it. I really, really like the quarterback, Mateer, for Washington State. But he also really just wants a runner.
Who does he remind you of? The starting quarterback of the starting quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders and former Washington State alum, Gardner Minshew. It's exactly who he plays like. Yeah, I believe it. I think that Washington State is in the unenviable position of being the actual favorite. And yet, again, I know they're not, but like they're coming in with a lot of steam, and I think Boise State's ready for them. So I think it's going to be a close game. I think Boise State will squeak it out.
Woohoo!
And then some ducks are going to land in that fucking stupid-ass field.
All right, we go to the 5 games left. We're going to to the Kansas teams for the next two. Number 20, Oklahoma State, plus 5.5. At a number somehow 23, Kansas State. Jesus Christ.
What do you got, Johnny?
Both teams lost last week. What's the line? I'm looking for the line. What time is the game?
Noon.
It's a noon game.
Top 25 matchup, noon game.
Noon in Manhattan. I know the quarterback had a rough game, but that game was a lot closer than people would have you think against BYU. They had a couple of stupid penalties. It was like a 6-minute window where it turned into fucking chaos. Give me Kansas State here. I don't trust Bowman. I refuse to ever bet on Oklahoma State. I just haven't been right about Oklahoma State. Give me Kansas State. Give me Kansas State.
JT?
That's my pick is based on I haven't had good luck with Oklahoma State. Not impressed by what I see there, and I'm just going to ride Kansas State.
I think this is the spot. I'm going to play heel and go Okie State, but I think this is the spot to do it. Rob?
This is the spot to do what?
Do something other than the first week when I picked them and lost.
So you think this is the spot that Kansas State will do well after you've been saying they've been frauds for fucking a whole month?
No, I'm picking Oklahoma State. Totally.
No, I know. But you're saying this is the spot that once again Kansas State shows us that they're frauds.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go with that action. I don't think that Kansas State is as good as, people think they are. $40 for a ticket. Most of the open seats are on the Kansas State side in Bill Snyder Family Stadium. You know what it is? I think that Oklahoma State loves preying on their fellow Big 12 teams. That's all they're good at. Utah's not really a Big 12 team. Kind of new. Oklahoma State, I think, is going to pull one out for no fucking reason.
This screams like one of those games.
Yeah, where everything is just weird and nothing makes sense and the mullet beats all. So that's what I'm going with.
So we go from one Kansas team to the other. Plus 1.5 at Kansas. Catches. This is an Arrowhead in Kansas City, Missouri.
I'm going to keep it quick. Kansas misses their offensive coordinator from last year, but I'm still not off of them. He went to Penn State. I know they're missing, but I love Neal still, and I still believe in Daniels. Give me Kansas.
JC?
TCU kind of keeps dropping games here. They lost big to SMU, lost to UCF. Really going to drop another one to Kansas? I'll try TCU here.
I don't think TCU drops 3 in a row. It's TCU. Rob?
So you think Kansas drops 4 in a row by less than a touchdown?
Correct, I do, yes.
Wow. This is literally a race to the bottom. Who can somehow give the game away in the last seconds? So whoever has the ball last probably wins the game because whoever is on defense is going to fold like a fucking house of cards. Yeah, I mean, I'll go with Kansas because I like them a lot more than TCU, but no one's going to this game. Their seasons both have imploded. I guess I would say that Kansas's coaching is probably better because I cannot believe that Sonny Dykes got thrown out of a fucking game.
Tyler, do the non-ranked Big Ten team next.
I was going there.
I picked Nebraska over Purdue because Nebraska bounces back here, and Nebraska probably wins this game by 30.
Yeah, it's Nebraska. It's now a 10.5-point line at Purdue. JC?
Yeah, Nebraska.
I'm doing that as well. Rob?
$7 tickets in West Lafayette. Nebraska's going to win by 30.
Cool.
$7. Nobody wants to go to West Lafayette, including Purdue.
Then we're going to go to Louisville, 15 plus 5.5 at number 16, Notre Dame.
I know a lot of you guys think that this is a Notre Dame shirt. Well, it's not, because Notre Dame's not a real team. They don't have a real quarterback. They don't have a real coach. They can't throw the fucking ball. They're a fucking embarrassment. Fuck Freeman. Fuck Leonard. Fuck everybody there. I will not root for that team until they actually hire a real coach and a real quarterback. Louisville probably by 12 to 15 points.
JC?
I'm gonna go Notre Dame.
Okay, they can't throw the ball.
Yeah, I'm feeling Notre Dame.
They can't throw the ball.
I don't like Louisville's wins.
They can't throw the ball.
Oh, yeah.
I guess in the Satterfield we trust Louisville.
It's a good fucking pick. Because they can't throw the ball.
Doesn't stop Michigan.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's
I agree.
not
They
good
can't throw the
Michigan.
ball. I agree. They can't throw the ball for shit. There's like nobody going to this game. $44 for a ticket and fucking for
Which
a
is
top
weird
25 matchup.
Because Louisville's not far from South Bend either.
Yeah, no, it's tickets are $44 for a top 25 matchup in South Bend.
I'm pretty sure that's like a 5-hour ride.
Yeah, it's not far. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's a weird vibe. 3:30 kickoff. I think that Notre Dame will find a way to lose this game because of nothing more than the fact that Louisville needs to be ranked when they play Miami and lose to them.
Rob, ready? Here's the analysis. Notre Dame can't throw the ball.
So you're
Yeah,
going
I know.
Louisville?
I'm going with Louisville.
All right. Just had to double check.
Yep, going with Louisville.
To the two biggest
Two more
games.
games.
Two of the biggest games of the week, arguably. Number 19, Illinois, plus 17.5 here. It's now up to 19.5. At number 9, Penn State.
Listen, Illinois is winning this game. You want to know why? Tyler, I'm sorry. Nebraska, that was a great game. Those are both two really big games. They have a quarterback. Altmaier is fantastic at quarterback. But not only that, Tyler, how did they win that game? The last possession, defense. Their defense took Raiola in when they needed it and threw him back 35 fucking yards. They're the better defense. They have the better offense. They have the better quarterback. Give me Illinois. I'm not sold on Aller. I'm sold on Altmaier. Altmaier can throw the fucking rock, and he can run the rock, and he's smart. He's got it here. Big. Illinois.
JC?
Upset, baby.
I mean, does this Illinois streak really continue?
Did you watch him play?
Yeah. I mean, I gotta believe in it, right? I gotta believe in it. I'll run with Illinois. I usually wouldn't, but I like it. Let's do it.
Jay, they actually have a quarterback, and their defense is. You want to know? That's not even who won it. He had 4 touchdowns. They can run the. Their defense is really, really good. Really, really good.
Luke Gold, first off, that point spread, way too many points. Way too fucking many points.
Yes.
19.5.
Yeah. This screams 7.5 and below. And number 2, Luke Altmaier is like one of 16 people in all of FBS who still hasn't thrown an interception. Like Johnny said earlier, I believe in Altmaier, seeing him play for 5 quarters of football. I don't buy Drew Aller. I'm going Illinois.
And they've been battle tested. Penn State hasn't played anybody.
I mean, they did play, Bowling Green.
And West Virginia, who we know is bad.
And Bowling Green kind of kept it close. So
Bowling Green could have won that game if the refs didn't screw them. They would have had a shot at least. $31 to go watch this game for whiteout energy, because Franklin knows if he calls it a whiteout game, they absolutely will lose this game.
Yep.
So, All right, let's do it. ILL.
Let's
INI.
go, baby.
He's
We are
going
the Illinois podcast.
Let's go.
All right, to the Big Daddy. The top 5 matchup of the weekend. Number 2, Georgia. Still at -2.5. At number 4, Bama.
I want to pick Bama, but Georgia's been tested, and they got tested against Kentucky. I know that's not a big test, but they always have that one game against a mid-SEC school and then come out like fucking big bad Georgia afterwards. Give me Georgia. I don't like it, but give me Georgia.
JC?
Yeah, I think that was like a lull game for them. Maybe looking ahead or something. They're gonna come back. I think Georgia over Bama.
Thank you for the easy win. And what is one team that Kirby Smart always plays timid against? It's fucking Bama. Irregardless of the coach, I still
no
think
Nick
that.
Saban.
I don't care.
No Nick Saban.
You got FBS's Nick Saban and Kalen DeBoer that everyone seems to overlook. I'm going Bama.
We made a couple of predictions at the beginning of the year, right? I think I picked for the national champion. I think I picked Georgia. Or I definitely picked them to win the SEC.
You
I
did.
can look.
I did.
I also picked a young man to step up now that he's got a coach who might actually fucking believe in him, and Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe, one of the few quarterbacks left in FBS who has not thrown an interception yet either.
Yep.
I think with a week to plan and advance, this is where Kalen DeBoer says, hi, Kirby Smart, I'm a better game day coach than you are. Not a better recruiter, not a better overall coach. Game day, trick play, bullshit. The Kalen DeBoer made his name with it. Washington, you know what I mean? Like, he's got that fucking Pac-12 bullshit up his sleeve. I think this is where he pulls it out. $270 at Bryant Denny Stadium. Obviously, everybody's going to this game. It's not just Alabama fans. It's Georgia. It's everybody in their mother.
Give me Bama. Give me Bama. Give me Bama. Give me Bama.
I want to see Kalen DeBoer's story be like, fuck you, Kirby Smart. You don't know shit.
Bama.
This is
Also, I don't.
Damn, that's fucking.
Yeah. Also, I don't like Carson Beck.
I wanted to pick him, but I didn't want to go with my own thoughts. You guys swayed. I had him in my head. You guys hit every one of my points, and I was going to say, give me Bama. Give me Bama.
I'm hopeful. It's going to be a tight-ass game. Don't get me wrong, but I think Alabama's going to come out with some trick bullshit that they would never pull with Saban, and Kirby Smart's going to be like, what?
No. Give me Georgia. I want Georgia. Georgia.
He could be on the losing side when that happens.
Let's pick. It's a nice solid 2-2. 2-2 split, It'll be good. It'll be good.
It's like that 2 games. Me and JC both have K-State, and we both have Georgia. You two are in the middle.
But that's all she wrote.
That's our show, guys. That is Spike College Football Week 6, 5. We don't know. That was our picks. Come and join us on our TikTok, please. Spike College Football. Our Instagram, Spike_College_Football. On our Twitch, Spike College Football, and on our YouTube channel, which we are on now, Spike College Football. We are the men who bring you sports and college football in the millennial twist. We are our own people. We have a little bit of comedy, a little bit of this. Come join us on our live stream on Saturday. We'll be live streaming Saturday. Actually, I'm going to live stream tomorrow night. When Miami plays Virginia Tech, I will be live streaming. If you guys want to join, we'll join. Come live bet with us.
I'll be at work, so it'll be probably another second half situation again.
Okay, so we'll be live streaming, live betting. Come join us. We're going to keep trying to do as much as we can. We're almost ready to do the Twitch. We're almost there. Thank you guys for joining us. And as always, with the Spiked Boys, we do one thing great. We always keep it spiked. Bitches.